Hello everybody. It's been a while. Feels like it's been what, 2 years now? Yeah. So I've been to a few haunted attractions this year. It's already November 9th. Good God. So I wanted to take some time to really reflect and go back on all the haunted attractions I went to. So I'm going to start off with the first one I went to, which was Fear Forest. And we're going to be rating everything from 1 to 10, and at the end I'm going to put them all together and I'll give them their final score, which will be I don't know how many out of 5 skulls. So 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. So let's get into it, shall we? So we're going to start off with parking. So parking is amazing. I just give it a 10 out of 10. Let's just be honest. The way you get into the parking lot is super easy. People coming in and coming out, it's easy. And the way they have it set up, on the very back road towards the road, it's only 1. But behind that, there's a massive space so cars can pass each other if they need to. And then there's like car to car. So it's just like this. Like that. So this person could just pull out and go. Or this person can back up and go, or most of the time, this person will be gone and you could just pull through and go. So I give it a 10 out of 10, definitely. And there's just a lot of space. There's like a lot of land. I don't recommend, if you do have a 2-wheel drive and it's raining, that you go because you're going to get stuck. But I think Fear Forest would probably cancel if it got to that point. So I don't think you really have to worry about that. But yeah, I definitely give the parking lot a 10 out of 10. So, we're going to talk about the hayride. So, the hayride's not like any other hayride where it's really short to the ground and you could just hop on and scare the crap out of people. That's not the case with this one. This one is massive. I think the floorboard comes up to my neck. So, actually, I think it's a little bit lower than that, but still, you know, they have to drive like a mile, not a mile, but half a mile to get to where everything is. So it is pretty cool just to be able to chill and listen to music, but also, you know, it's extremely dangerous for actors to just jump on the side, especially it being that high up off the ground. You know, somebody could get hurt or either killed, you know. So I give it about a good solid 5. Alright, so Fear Forest with the tickets, this is what it looks like right here. Except for you're not supposed to have these endings off. You got Fear Crops, which is one attraction over here. Then you got Fear Factory. Now Fear Crops is this direction. Fear Factory is this way, and the main trail is right here, which they ripped off my main trail one, but they left these. But they punctured a hole in it. Not this one. About to go through Fear Crops right now, baby. November 9th, I'm going through Fear Crops. So yeah, I actually like the ticket. It's about 30 bucks for the regular ticket. I'm not really sure how much the Fast Pass is. I couldn't really find it on their website. And I don't know. I think when you go up there to the ticket booth, I think they have it written on that, you know, big old whiteboard. It's not like a whiteboard. It's just a big board. And then it's got like painted words on it and stuff. I don't know. I really didn't pay attention, honestly. I was just trying to get in line and get what I need. Make sure that you have cash. They do have ATM, but you don't want to get hit with a fee. So the best thing you need to do is just go to the ATM before you get there and just withdraw money. It's that plain and simple. So, yeah, not a bad price. It's not the best price, but when you have 3 different attractions, it's not a bad price. I think the Fast Pass, when I did see it, it was a little pricey, and the only reason why I have an issue with that is because you're only doing it one time. So if you're trying to have like a good night with your friends, and you're trying to make it last, you kind of like going through Fast Pass real quick. Yeah, you cut the whole line, but then you're done in like an hour maybe, and then you guys have to find something else to do, and that's just pretty hard. I don't know. So we're going to talk about the Midway. The Midway is actually pretty cool. I like the way their fire pit is set up, and you could just sit down on it and y'all could just relax and have a good time. It's very social, and I think it's an amazing thing to have, along with the porta potties. They do have porta potties at the front before you get on the hayride. There's 2 of them, But over here they got like 5 to 6 of them, so that's definitely convenient and that's very smart. Pricey probably on their end, but it's totally worth it. You are definitely going to make the public like, oh, thank goodness. Oh, excuse me, I don't know why I'm burping so much. They're like, oh, thank goodness, I ain't got to wait in line. And, it's just easier. The more porta potties you have, the less stress it is for the public, even though it probably costs y'all an arm and a leg. So, I definitely give the Midway about a 9. I give it a 9. You have enough space to walk past the fire pit and go to all these attractions. There's a lot of space. So I definitely give it like a 9. Alright, since Fear Crops is on the end of this ticket, we're going to start with that. Going through Fear Crops, it is a cornfield. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's a maze. It's probably not going to be that good. A lot of the props in there were amazing. It was probably the best attraction out of all 3 of them, if you want me to be honest. And I didn't go last year into the crops. I was like, it probably ain't even worth it. Because, me and my dad had to work and it got so late. But this year, me and my mom, we went in and it was just amazing. And the people actually got me. So if you ask me what I give the crops, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I can't tell you what's in there. But there was this one prop that I looked up at and it was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. So I had to give my hats off to that, because a lot of cornfields have the same thing over and over again, and it kind of gets to the point where you're like, okay. But Fear Force made an effort to actually make it different than everybody else's, so I definitely have to give Fear Crops a 9 out of 10. Now we're going to talk about Fear Factory. Oh, where do I start with that one? I have a feeling, I'm not really sure, that Fear Factory doesn't really know what it wants to do. It doesn't have like an identity. Like the crops, we know what it is. The main Fear Force trail, we know what it is. But with the factory, it just doesn't seem like they know what they want to do with it. If that makes, any sense. I don't know why I'm burping. I've ate 30 minutes ago? I don't understand. It's kind of annoying, honestly. But the thing is, when you walk into the building, I remember one year it was like a doll house in the beginning, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. But it just seems like now it's just a bunch of rooms just into one, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, how are you going to have this theme and this theme and this theme and this theme, and it doesn't really combine, if you want me to be real with all of you. And it doesn't give me a factory vibe. It's decorated with 3D, glasses, and, when you have 3D glasses on, you know what the reasoning is for. I don't want to give it away, but it just doesn't give me the factory vibe. It's like, oh, it's a factory, but instead of just being a regular factory, we got, clowns, and we got this, and we got this, and we got this, and it's just like, no, that makes no sense at all. I'm not getting that industrial feeling at all. So, yeah. And Michael Myers, he was at the end where the maze is, and I'd understand if people are freaking out and trying to figure out their way out, and they can't figure out and they're panicking, and they're about to have a panic attack or something, then I would tell them where to go. But this man literally just pointed in the direction we needed to go, and it just ruined the fun for me. And I'm like, Michael, you get a 1. And plus, you need to be taller. Michael Myers is not short and stout. He is tall without a doubt. Ooh. So, yeah, I just feel like Fear Factory, I give it a 2. It needs a lot of work. It does. It needs a lot of work. No shame. There's always room to grow, and that's what's good about a haunted attraction. They have plenty of time now, even though it feels like they don't. Fear Force opens up in October, and they only run through October, so they have plenty of time if they start now. So, yeah, I give it a 2. Sorry. Now we're going to talk about the main trail. So, Fear Force has a lot of props that I've never seen before, so I'm definitely like, yo, this is cool. Some of it, it's been around for a while. It hasn't changed, but there is a lot of things that have changed. So, Of course, it being the main trail, there was a lot of missed opportunities. So it's funny how that girl at Fear Crops is like, oh, we have a lot of people. But they don't actually have a lot of people, because there was a lot of openings that people could have gotten me and my mom, but they didn't because there was nobody there. So there was a lot of missed opportunities. So what I give the trail is about a 7. I give it a 7. When it comes to props, Fear Force, like I said, has a lot of props that are different. Animatronics, just regular props. So if I had to combine all the props from all 3 attractions, Fear Force, the main trail, it carries its own. So I definitely give that about an 8. Fear Crops, I give it a 9. And the factory, I give it about a 2 or 3. So yeah, it just seems like the factory is what's holding it back, honestly, if you want me to be real with y'all. So yeah, the props are amazing. Like I said, there's a lot of different things I've never seen before, especially in the crops. They had one thing that really threw me off, but I can't say it because I don't want to ruin it for all of you. So yeah, overall, if I combined all of them together, I would have to say about an 8.5. So yeah, that's my score for that. Now we are going to talk about actors. Alright, so some of the actors were pretty good. The only one I had an issue with was the girl on the school bus. She was like, did y'all just get off the spinny thing? Because it looks like y'all did by the way you're walking. And I'm just like, what? She's trying to have a conversation with us. I'm over here like, you're supposed to scare me, not have a conversation with me. So I definitely give that girl a 1. Sorry. That's how I feel about her. But the rest of them did actually a fairly good job. There was one dude, he had like a prop where he could like swung it and spin it and scared the shit out of me. But he just like sat there and was like against the wall. And he was like wearing camouflage. I'm like, bro, I didn't even see you at first. You could have just like swung that thing and you would have got me immediately. And I probably would have jumped out of my skin. But you just let a opportunity pass you. So if I could give all the actors a rating, I would definitely give the actors in Fear Crops the highest. I would give them an 8. I'd give the Fear Factory about a 4, and I would give the main trail about a 5. So, good job, Fear Crops. And I guess for my final one, I would talk about the costumes. I really think the costumes are pretty amazing. I wish they would have like a costume of this individual, like their main mascot. That would be amazing. But obviously Focus, that's not happening. So, oh well, that would have been dope though. And put him on stilts too. That would have been awesome. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Maybe one day they will. But yeah, I definitely give the actors' costumes about a 6. Not a lot of people put much effort into their costume. So, I went over everything that I could possibly go over. Like I said, the parking lot is a 10, the hayride is a 5, the ticket booth, it's about an 8. The website is about a 9. You know, if it made it look a little bit cooler, I'd give it a 10. You know, the factory was a bummer. The crops was the best. The trail was aight. The actors could do a little bit more, honestly. So, I'm not even going to kid with any of you. But, let me give y'all my full score for Fear Force. I give it a, drum roll please, 4 out of 5 skulls. And the only reason why I couldn't give them higher is because of the factory. That's just the reason why I couldn't give them a higher score, because just the factory was a bummer. The midway was awesome. The trail was decent. The Fear Crops fucking killed it. The hayride's pretty cool. And the parking lot and all the other stuff is pretty amazing. But y'all got to work on your actors. If you're going to pay these people and put them on a, was it a W9, you really got to make sure that they're on their game 100%. Not even just with the actors, but make sure, Fear Factory is actually something that's worth going and seeing, because I just feel like it's a bummer. That's the only reason I gave y'all 4 out of 5 skulls. So, no disrespect, I'm not putting any of these companies that I'm talking about down in the gutter. I am just expressing what I think. Oh, by the way, if you guys think about driving the Fear Force, be careful, because the road, it will catch you off guard, and like it's off to the side, so you're like, oh shit, you might drive by it. And when you're going down, make sure to put on your high beams if nobody's coming your direction, because it is a very narrow road like this. And there's nothing for a little bit, and then eventually, boom, Fear Force is on your left. I forgot to mention that, so just be careful and mindful when you're driving there. Watch out for deer and stuff. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about Fear Force. If I had only one critique, like I said, just work on the factory, make it better for next year. So, yeah. I'm actually trying to build up these people, not tear them down. That's why, I'm giving them good and I'm giving them bad. Hell, I'll take 4 out of 5 skulls. Alright, I love y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.